Do you want to see a listing marketing checklist? How you're going to market your listings and put it in a checklist format? If that's what you want to see, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Mike Cerrone with 2 listings per month. And right now, what I'd like to do is share with you something I've had to put together as I'm getting myself back into active practice, I guess, as we're doing these tests for these postcards. I have to be willing to go out and list properties. And so therefore, I've got to have a marketing checklist, the one I advertise and promote, but then also that when somebody comes in, I have to be able to take action on that to make sure that I am providing and what I have offered, make sure that I am performing what I've presented to the seller. All right, so I've got a checklist, and I thought I'd just run that through that with you real quick. I'm keeping this very, very simple, based on some of the top agents in the nation that we've talked to. And so what we're doing is we've just taken a Google Sheet, and we're going to make a list down of the different items that we would take action on. So let's go ahead and zip over there. Okay, so this is the Google Sheet that I've created. And again, this is all raw and new. We're going to end up changing a lot, but this is just a start. I'm naming it at the very top up here. You can see checklist listing marketing, because I'm going to have multiple checklists. And I want to keep them organized by that word checklist so I can quickly find the one that I want. And so let's just walk through the list real quick. Maybe this will be helpful for you. Again, this is how we're going to market our new listing to go out there and find a buyer or find an agent with a buyer, right? So we've got we've got the seller's name and the address of the property. We've got, it was kind of going a little slow there. We've got a listing. When it gets signed, I'm going to mark in the date. So what I'm doing, by the way, is these are all the items I'm going to take action on in column A. There we go. And then in column B, that's going to be each individual seller. So I'll just have it going across. Every time we add a seller, we'll go ahead and put them in there, and we're going to track their information. And this gives me a quick reference to make sure that I am performing everything. And I'm going to review this at least once a week, if not daily, to make sure that everything is occurring. Also, when I go out with my sellers reports once a week, I can refer back to this and say, hey, look, here are all the things I've done so far. Here are the things I plan on doing next, etc. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. We've got the listing signature. I want to know, when did that happen? And then I've got also disclosures. When did they get signed? And for me, I'm going to upload this into my broker's system. In our case, it's SkySlope, and the docs got uploaded. It's a requirement that they have. You have to upload that within 24 hours. So I'm going to make sure that that gets done. We're going to do a target MLS date. Like some sellers are want to go out right away. Some are going to want to delay to do some work on the property. That's the first one that I have. That's what's going to happen there. They're going to be taking some time to get a couple little things knocked out that they've talked to me about. And so I want to know, what is my objective? When do I want to be in the MLS? Also, by the way, for me, I want to make sure that goes into my listing agreement, that date that the seller is instructing me not to put it into my MLS until that date, which they did. And I want to make sure that's written down so that I don't have any issues with my MLS, because they have requirements on how quickly you're supposed to put it into there. But remember, well, at least for me, I'm not going to give you legal advice here, but for me, the seller directs what I do. And so I believe that that's a reasonable reason for delay. All right, but you should check with your broker in your state and an attorney and all that, because everything's different across the country as well as in other countries. That's what I did there. So let's keep moving. We've got key requests that I asked the seller for a key. And if I've got the key received, I got to make sure we have access to this property. Then we've got photos. If we're going to have the seller do it, the agent do it, or as you see below, a professional do it. And that's a discussion I have with the seller and what they want to do there. And then when I get those photos received back, and then we've got sign ordered and a sign placed. So I either have a service that does that, or I'll do it myself, but that's why we've got ordered and placed. Same with the lockbox, ordered and placed. And then we've got the MLS entry itself, which will take, of course, quite a bit of work, but I want to know what date did that go active? What date did that go into the MLS? And then we got showing service entry. For us, we've got a service on the back end that's doing the showings for us. In the old days, it used to be our front desk or even the agent itself. Now they have services that are doing this for everybody, at least in my area, and that's pretty nice. And the technology has allowed that, so we're going to get that entered in there. Okay, if our seller is elected for professional photos, we're going to have the photos ordered and then received, and then moving boxes, ordered and received. Cleaning services, we've got ordered and completed. Okay, and then if we're going to set up a launch, a new listing launch, also known, by the way, as coming soon, you might have that in your MLS where it's already set up, or if not in your MLS, you may have a system for setting that up. We've had top agents come in and chat with us about those services over there on Mastermind Agent. In any event, if you're going to do one of these, then you need to set up the dates ahead of time. So we're going to have the tease date. That's where we go out and let people know that something is coming soon. And then our active date, when did we go active in the MLS? Allow showings to occur. And then we've got our bid date. That's when we're taking all the offers in, and that's kind of the deadline for getting offers in. And then the review date. That's our date that we're going to review all the offers with the sellers. You want to map that out before you get into it, so you can tell everybody exactly what's going on. Everybody's on the same page and you're in compliance as well. All right, let's keep going down here. We've got the video tour being ordered, and then when does it come back and then get received? Drone photos, where they fly up in the air and take a photo from the air. When those things get ordered and when they're received. Postcards, 100 postcards going out to neighbors to let them know that this home is for sale. Also, by the way, on that postcard, you'll offer your services if they're curious about the value their home is or whatever your offer is. And then when those cards get mailed out. And then we've got our 60 days sold. That's I'll sell your home in 60 days or I will pay you X. We've got when is that start date and when is the end date. I'm going to calculate that early on so that I don't get surprised by that when it's coming up. I want to know when that date's coming up because that's my accountability to keep this thing on track. And if I don't hit that date, then I may have to pay the seller some money. And so I want to make sure I know what those are. And then we're going to also have the weekly seller reports. I do that each week. For me, typically on a Tuesday. And I'm going to track those dates every time we send them out or have the conversation. And so I can say, hey, look, I've got a record of everything we did, all these conversations that we did. You could do this in some kind of software program that's doing your transactions, doing your listing management. It may also be doing transaction management with it. I'm just doing this on a spreadsheet to get it going. I'm trying to think of what would a new agent need to get started with all these things that I'm kind of starting and building out, trying to do it as a new person popping in rather than as the experienced agent that I am with my history. And by the way, since I haven't done this in a decade, it is kind of like a new thing, right? So, okay, so there you go. That was the checklist for listing marketing. I hope that was helpful for you. If it was, give us a like, give us a thumbs up so we know we're on the right track. And these are the kind of things that you want to hear about. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet and you want to join us on this journey, go ahead and subscribe. If you have a friend in real estate who might benefit from this, go ahead and let them know about the channel. Really appreciate that. If you have any comments about this list, did you like things we had on the list? Do you think we were missing things on the list? Do you use this format? Do you use a different format? Tell us down in the comments below. How can we improve to make sure things go smoother? That'd be fantastic. All right, thank you so much for taking the time to join me today, and I hope you take care. Bye now.